Welcome to TwistedBrush Tree Studio. This is a getting started video to cover some of the basic features. Let's get started. The primary goal of TwistedBrush Tree Studio is to allow creation of 2D trees for use within other programs such as TwistedBrush Pro Studio or other art applications not made by Pixarra even. The first release of TwistedBrush Tree Studio includes 30 different trees, and you can find them here under this reference menu, these different categories. I'm just going to select African olive. You can see what comes up is this little sample image. That's meant as a guide to kind of give you a sense of what the tree is intended to look like, how the leaves appear and such. The trees are created with brushes, and if you're familiar with other twisted brush applications, works very much the same way. The one thing to keep in mind with this program is the trees are generated with the brushes, one for the tree frame and another brush for the leaves. So here I pulled up the sample for the African olive. So let's select the brushes which go along with that. So I'm going to click here and it pulls up the selection of brushes. I'm going to select the African olive frame brush. And here I'm also going to click and then select the African olive leaves. So now we have two brushes selected. And now it's just a matter of drawing the frame and then the leaves. So I'm going to select the frame brush. And down here there's this guide, this little marker, which is just the center and where you may want to start drawing the frame. And to draw the frame, simply a click and drag. And I recommend using a mouse. So if you have a drawing tablet with a stylus, you can use it, but with a mouse, you have more control over when you want to stop moving the mouse, because each time you move the mouse, a different tree frame will be randomly generated. So once you find one you like, just release the mouse button, and now you have your tree frame. What we set up here is layers to represent different portions of the tree. So here it defaulted to the tree frame and going on this layer. There's also two layers for leaves and ground cover as well. The guide, which was just that little indicator here, once you've drawn, you can just hide that layer with this little eye icon. I'm going to select the leaves layer up here and select the leaves brush. And now it's just a matter of painting in the leaves on the tree. And this is where the reference image comes in handy, just to get a sense of what the leaves are intended to look like for this tree. And you can see here each of the brushes have different color schemes already set up. So often you may want to start with the darker shade, and then maybe some lighter shades where there may be some highlights. So there we have very quickly created this tree. There's a lot of other brushes that can be used to further enhance the tree. You can see if we click here, pulls up the utility set, which includes dodge, which is for adding highlights, burn for shadows, some general purpose paint brushes, erasers, masking, and then a variety of blenders as well, and a few effects. Don't need to use those. If you just want to do something quickly, we have our tree with the two brushes. Now if you're pulling this into another program, often what you'll want to do is have this with transparency without the gradient blue background. Hide the layer with the eye icon. And now you have two options to get this into another program. You can go to the edit menu and say copy merged. And what that will do is it'll copy that into your clipboard. One thing to keep in mind in Windows, Support for transparency on bitmaps is not an integral part of the operating system, so it is supported differently in different applications. So if you're putting this on the clipboard for use within TwistedBrush Pro Studio, will work fine. You can use the paste tool and paste this directly into your artwork within TwistedBrush Pro Studio. If you're using another non-Pixarra application, it may work, it may not, in terms of the transparency on the clipboard. Uh, so if you're going to a non-Pixarra application, often what you want to do is save image to file and save it as a PNG, a ping, and that will preserve the transparency. You could load that into your other application and you'll have your tree with the full transparency. So hopefully this is enough to get you started. There's quite a few other features here, but it gives you the basic idea how to quickly create some 2D trees. Thank you.